I've been teaching beginner artists for over 6 years now, and I'm kind of shocked by how rarely other art teachers talk about this one skill, because I do think that this is the skill that's necessary for long-term growth and a sustainable art practice. Let's do a little thought experiment that will paint the picture here. Imagine that you had two different art students. Let's call them A and B. A is an art student who's really driven. He's someone who sits down, forces himself to draw an hour every single day, doing the most efficient studies, has watched all the YouTube videos about like different schedules and what to study, and is doing the exercises that are given to him, the most efficient studies, the most efficient possible approach to learning how to draw, and is just forcing himself to draw all the time. An hour a day minimum, just wake up early in the morning, drawing as much as possible. While B is someone who draws maybe 20 minutes per day, but while this person is drawing, they do studies here and there, they do personal projects, but they're having fun with the entire process. While A is someone who's just forcing themselves, focused on productivity and efficiency instead of having fun. A is throwing fun out the window and deciding that, hey, I'm going to do my studies and get really good first and then learn how to have fun later on. It's like, I want to build the skill first and then have the fun in maybe 4 years when my figure drawing and my portraits and my ability to turn forms is way better. Which of these two artists, which of these two art students do you think will have a sustainable art practice? For some of you might think that A, because they're so driven and hardworking, they have the knowledge, they have the understanding of the different skills, that A will have the most amount of growth and the most amount of sustainable art practice down the road. While B, although they're having fun, they probably won't grow as much, but they'll probably have a sustainable practice. But I would push back. I would say that B will probably learn the necessary lessons to fulfill their art side, to fulfill their vision of what their art should look like, while A will learn a bunch of skills, but will ultimately burn out and forget why they started. And at some point, they will have the ability to draw figures, right? I'm not saying that A wouldn't grow, but they will grow in a way that isn't helpful to what they actually want to express, while B, through fun, through love for the practice, will actually develop their skills in a way that fulfills their needs, to fulfill their creativity within them. So their art practice will be so much more fulfilling than A's art practice. Now you can do A's approach, especially if you want to do a career route. If you are someone who's focused on learning how to draw so that you can do it as a service for other people, then maybe you have to go through a couple of years of grueling hard work. But for most of you, you're probably a hobbyist. For most of you, you're probably a beginner artist who's learning how to draw for fun. That's the whole point. So put aside the grueling work. You don't need to do it that way. If you do B's approach, where you're focused on having fun with the art practice, having fun with the drawing exercises, then you will grow so much faster. The important thing to keep in mind here is that I'm not saying not to do drawing exercises. I have my 54 free drawing exercises that are linked below, and I highly recommend you go and find drawing exercises and try them out, but I want you to approach them from a place of fun. Ask yourself the question of, how can I make these drawing exercises fun for me? How can I make this an enjoyable practice? And don't force yourself to do a bunch of drawing exercises if you lose fun over time. You can turn studies into tons of fun. If you listen to professional artists, like if you listen to interviews with professional artists who have a lot of technical ability, what you will notice is they talk fondly about doing studies. They talk about the challenges. They talk about how hard it is, how complex some things are, but they'll say it with a smile on their face because they're actually enjoying that process. They've fallen in love with the challenge. The challenge doesn't have to be this hurdle that isn't fun. It doesn't have to be this tedious thing that you have to go through. You don't have to sit down and do an hour of figure drawing studies every single day and then just force yourself over and over again. That is unnecessary. You can actually find a way to make that part of the process enjoyable to you so that you learn much quicker. Now, here are 3 different approaches, 3 different ways that you can get to having more fun. I understand that a lot of art teachers don't talk about this because it's almost a given that you should be having fun through drawing. But I fundamentally believe that a lot of beginner artists have fun in the early part of the practice. And then as they learn more and more, as they watch more YouTube videos, as they get these perfect schedules and all these other different ideas into their head, they start to forget that fun is the point, that fun is actually a hack to learning really quickly. And they try to approach the art practice through the lens of someone else. They try to approach our practice as if they're someone else instead of just being themselves. So here are 3 ways to get back to having fun with your own art practice. The first strategy is going to require you to do a little bit of writing. So grab your sketchbook right now, grab it right now. Don't just sit around and watch this, or open the notes app or something and ask yourself, how can you have 10% more fun with your drawing exercises? How can you have 10% more fun with drawing? And that might mean that you have to change the subject matter. Maybe it's just your mentality around drawing. What are ways that you can make it more fun for yourself? And this is a question I want you to keep coming back to and reviewing. Just 10% more fun, right? So you don't have to change everything. You don't have to like suddenly throw out everything that you've been doing. How can you have 10% more fun? Maybe it's just the mentality that you're approaching things with. Maybe you have some sort of goal in mind, like, oh, I want to get good within 6 months, or I want to be able to draw perfect figures in a year. If you have that kind of goal, the goal might become punishing. So maybe put the goal away. Maybe putting the goal away will make you have 10% more fun. And you're going to have to do a lot of experimenting and trying around this, which is why we're going to write it down. We're actually going to answer the question on paper or on your digital tablet or whatever. We actually want to answer that question and keep answering that question, because that's going to change over time. The 10% more fun might change day to day. So we always want to keep that in mind, that this is an important thing that we're valuing. Writing it in your sketchbook, I find very helpful for me. If I answer the question in my sketchbook, then it is there. I'm seeing it with my eyes. I'm like, this is a high priority. It can be tempting to say, yes, having fun would be good, but then not actually treating it like a priority. Let's treat it like a priority by writing it down and actually facing the question on a regular basis. So how can you have 10% more fun with your drawing practice? The second strategy that I use quite a bit that helps me a ton is reminding myself that I am complete as I am. My intrinsic value as a human being will not change regardless of how good I get at drawing. Now, you might get more external validation. That is true. The society might value you a little bit more in very shallow ways. But the people that care about you, the people in your life that actually matter, they're not going to see you as more valuable just because you learn how to draw a little bit better. They might be impressed on an ego level. They might be impressed by like, oh wow, that's cool that you learned that. But ultimately, they're still going to love you the same. And that will not change. You are already complete as you are. Your intrinsic value as a human being will not change regardless of how much drawing you do, regardless of how good you get. None of those things really truly matter. So you can just relax. If you do a bad drawing, it doesn't suddenly mean that you're not worth something as a human being. I understand that can be very tempting to believe, and it's an underlying belief that we don't confront very often, but I like to go head on and remind myself on a regular basis that I am complete, so I don't need to stress so much. I don't have to have this huge fear response just because I draw a bad portrait once, you know? It sounds silly when I say it out loud that way, but that is how the body feels sometimes. If you put a lot of weight and pressure on becoming good at drawing, it can feel like a real loss when you do a bad drawing, instead of it feeling like an experiment. When you remember that you are complete as you are, you can treat everything like an experiment. You can just have fun. You can be like, oh, I drew a bad portrait. Maybe I can like approach the next portrait a little bit differently. Or maybe I can turn this portrait into something a little bit more artsy. Like, yeah, it's a bad face technically, but maybe I can make it into something fun. And if you have this like looseness and this freedom in how you draw, you'll come down and sit and draw way more often than if you have this approach that everything needs to be perfect and everything needs to be good. Let go of all that. Remind yourself that you are complete as you are. No amount of drawing will change that. The third strategy that actually helped me overcome my perfectionism is just writing out your expectations. So on the page where you ask yourself how to have 10% more fun, ask yourself, what are the expectations that you're holding? What are the hidden voices saying that are judging your art? Are there certain things that you started to believe? Do you believe that you had to draw perfect portraits to be a good artist? Do you believe that drawing figures should all be out of the imagination? You're not allowed to use reference. Like, are those expectations that you have? You want to write those out so you can ask yourself if you truly actually believe it and you want to confront it. This is something that I go through in my inner artist course that's linked below. I start off the course talking about that because I understand that for a lot of students, they have all of these hidden expectations that they haven't confronted, which grows into this perfectionism that holds them back from doing personal projects. Ultimately, as artists, we want to do many personal projects and actually explore our own creativity. And a lot of times students are held back from doing that because they have these hidden expectations about how good they should be on a technical level before they approach their drawing. If you are someone who's in this spiral of doing tons of tutorials and learning more technical skills before actually approaching the things that you want to do, that is a form of avoidance. You're avoiding your own creativity. So we want to sit down, write out our expectations, really question if this is the path that we want to take. Remember that you can always do a mini project and then redo that idea once you are better. You can always redo projects over and over again. That is part of the fun of drawing. As you approach your personal projects, as you approach your creative voice, you will learn more things. You'll learn quicker the more you approach your creativity. But I understand that's difficult if you are a perfectionist, if you are someone that has heavy expectations. So if you want my help with that, check out the Inner Artist course that's linked below in the Absolutely Everything bundle. Let me help you out. Let's go through that process together, but also remember you can always do this on your own. If you are a beginner artist that wants to draw way more, if you want to get addicted to drawing through joy, if you are someone who values joy and wants different strategies on that, I have another video that's linked below or right here somewhere where I go through 5 different strategies that are tremendously helpful if you are someone who wants to draw more and improve way faster. So check that out right here.